In an earlier video, I talked briefly about the structure of R commands. However, the only reason we have commands is to perform operations on data. So let's take a little time to talk about data. In R, data can take different forms, which are known as modes. What you see on the screen is not an all-inclusive list of the types of modes encountered in R, but it does list the most common kinds. Numeric data is pretty much what it sounds like, numbers, which can include decimal places. By comparison, integers have no decimal places. Complex numbers have two parts, a real number and an imaginary number. The real number is just what we normally call a number, such as -17. The imaginary number is a real number multiplied by I, which is the square root of -1. In the example shown here, the imaginary number is 8 times I. In the past, I encountered imaginary numbers in electrical engineering courses, but I haven't personally had any other experience with them. Logical values are either true or false. Since R equates true with the number 1 and false with 0, you can perform mathematical operations on logical values, which can sometimes come in handy. Character data is basically words, phrases, or strings of characters other than numbers. R can import data from the internet or from a computer directory. I've listed some of the more common formats in which R can import data. I'm partial to data in the form of comma-separated values, also known as CSV files, which I've found just seem to work very smoothly in R. For that reason, the files that I import in some of the upcoming examples are all CSV files. In R, individual pieces of data are contained within what are called objects. In this picture, if we think of the egg as a piece of data, the egg carton containing a series of eggs would be the object. In this example, the object might be a 2x5 matrix. R objects can be vectors, matrices, lists, and data frames. I'm going to focus on the two kinds that I think you are most likely to encounter: data frames and vectors. Data frames consist of rows and columns, as in a table of data that you might import, or like the egg carton in the previous slide. Values in a given column must be of the same mode: numeric, integers, complex numbers, logical values, or characters. Vectors are a one-dimensional string of data values, all of which must be of the same mode. At this point, if you would proceed to the next video in this series, we will talk about functions and packages, which you will need if you are actually going to do something with all of this data.